Okay, got it.
All right, gang, it's us. It's Crystal and Heather here. Our girl talk. Our girl talk today is Crystal and I talking, and we're going to record it and put it up so that people can see it on midlife. Because while people may not have had the opportunity to come in and join us live, some of the topics that we're going to be talking about are going to be things that a lot of us are interested in or going through right now.
So a lot of these topics are things that Heather and I experience in regular everyday conversations with our clients. So I don't know if any of you guys know, Heather is the owner and founder of Built for Everybody Fitness. It's an online coaching and training. And I am owner of Crystal King Photography and Studios. I started out as a sport photographer about 8 or 9 years ago. Oh my God. And, no, 8 years ago. And I am now have segued, long story short, I've segued into portrait and boudoir photography. I'm always shooting what I am identifying with at the moment. So when I started out, it was sports. That's what my kids were doing. And then I moved into family photography because that was what was close and dear to me. And now I had segued into portrait and boudoir photography. And I'll explain that a little bit later as we get into the conversation. Heather started out 3 years ago. Well, her journey started out when she was in college, but she opened her business 3 years ago, right before the pandemic. And then it exploded when the pandemic hit. And I'll just let you share that a little bit, Heather.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you. So yes, I have been in the fitness industry forever. I got, interested in college for, it was a PE class that I took, and then I fell in love with it because I had to learn how to manage my own fitness. I had no idea, and that was a journey that I needed to embark on, but I loved it so much that I held on to it. So even through the years when I was working in corporate and all of that, I was still, teaching on the side, my little side hustle. And then when I had the kids, I couldn't do full-time in the bank anymore. And quite frankly, I didn't want to. I went on to continue to teach on the side, all kinds of fitness classes, and then eventually getting, personal training. So like Crystal said, it was literally about a year before the pandemic, maybe 6 months before the pandemic, is when I started personal training, going into people's homes and working through their homes that way. And then also with the gym as well, including my classes. However, the pandemic hit. I'm not allowed in anybody's houses. I'm not allowed in a gym anymore. What do? That weekend I was online doing classes and personal training on Zoom. And yeah, like Crystal said, I found against my will and pushing, shoving, screaming the whole way, literally, that was where I needed to be. And it was, it was when things are supposed to happen, a lot of times it's organic. So then it was the middle of the pandemic when I was like, okay, I can do this. This is working. And that's when I filed for an LLC and a trademark on the name. And Crystal was involved in that, of course, with, the silhouette with Built. That was her. I will be forever thankful for that. And then Sydney, my daughter, did my logo. And it's been this growing journey ever since. And we can get into that more later too, because today's topic isn't about all this, but it just does establish some of the credit, the street creds, why we're doing this.
I know, I feel like I always have to have like street creds. And I know that's another whole topic about how we always feel like we have to list our credentials all the time to just feel like we're on the even playing field. But yeah, okay, we'll move on.
Let me write that down.
Because we're going to be like spiraling out of control.
Yeah. Let me write that down for the
All
next
right, street
topic.
creds. Okay.
Why do we
And
always
remember
have
where to write the notes? Where you wrote the notes?
Where-
Okay.
No, I do now, but I won't. We keep losing our notes, guys. All right, so that's another topic.
No, I have my
You have
own
yours?
specific notebook now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you do.
Okay.
All right. So today's topic, let's talk about. So a couple of things though that I did want to hit that we both wanted to talk about, and that is, a lot of you guys know why we started this group, but some of you don't. So we started this group because one day Crystal and I were walking down the beach. Literally, at this point, we're on the same path walking. Okay. We have been friends since we were teenagers, really, and went down. I know, right? It's like forever. And we went down different paths. I came out here to Pennsylvania, and it's true I was in banking, but I put that to the side, my career my goals, to raise my 3 children. That was my focus. Crystal also had children. And she also, but she worked full time, right? So she did the hustle of working full time and taking care of the kids. And so to look at us, especially in today's society, we would be on 2 different paths. We would have 2 different mindsets. We would have 2 different set of goals, right? In my mind, I'm looking at Crystal and I'm thinking she's got the world by the ass. I swore that one's not. And
Just grabbed it.
and and here I am, just this girl that gave up who she is and what she's all about. I didn't even know who I was anymore. And what I found was the 2 of us, when we were talking about it and being really honest and open, both of us were surprised that Crystal felt the same way. So there's this big myth out there that we've all been through it, the working mom, the mom that doesn't work and all this stuff.
Oh, but you work. You work even more.
The same.
Mhm.
The same. We work the same in a different way.
Mhm.
But
yeah. So, and at the time I didn't know it at the time, but I was going through like full-fledged menopause. So there was that factor. And my one daughter was my first daughter, I only have one. My oldest was graduating from high school, and or maybe she had just left, and she had been in college. And so I was adjusting to empty nest. I still have one kid at home. So there was like career changes going on. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And there were some changes going on in my marriage. So there was a lot of things happening all at once. And it just felt like, is this normal? What is going on? I think I'm losing my mind. And to hear the same things coming from her, we were like, we hear it from all our clients, but to hear it heart to heart, with each other, who have known each other for so many years, it felt like there's other women going through this. There's got to be. And it was such a relief having that connection, and that I didn't feel alone. She didn't feel alone. And we were seeing each other as supportive rather than what normally happens with women is there's that where you kind of push people off a little bit and hold them at a distance because you don't want to be judged. You feel like you aren't doing enough, blah, blah, blah. So long story short, we're like, we should start a group. And here we are.
And here we are. Yeah. And it was like, well, if you're feeling this way and I'm feeling this way, and how many other people are, and then since we started the group, we've learned, it's not just moms that lose themselves. If you, even women that haven't had children, women that aren't married right now, women, whether it's a divorce situation or whatever, they've chosen not to get married, they've chosen not to have children, whatever is going on, we still are on this other side in this chapter of our lives where we're reevaluating and reassessing, and what more do we want? Is this it? And the things that we thought we wanted and needed when we were in our 20s have made a dramatic shift, which segues right into the topic today, which is, what is sexy to you? What does sexy mean to you? And we want to talk about that because sexy has changed for all of us, and what we think of sexiness, how we want to be sexy, right? Our perceptions of sexy. And
or to even want the desire to be sexy,
which a lot of us don't right now.
I know, I like zero.
I know.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I know. I figure and I have those moments, we'll talk about this too, but I have those moments, in my 20s when, it was like I could watch a television show and be like, oh man, and with McDreamy, although I wasn't in my 20s then, I was in my 30s, and others. And now it's so bad. Now I'll watch the same scenes that might have made me, like from The Notebook, where you're like, that's so sexy or romantic. Now I watch them now and I'm like, get to this story. Now I get my grandma, why does it always have to be sex? Why is everything about sex? So, there we are. So what's sexy? All right. So let's just get into it. What do you say, Miss Crystal?
I say so. Yes.
All right. So I'm going to start with you. What is your definition of sexy?
Oh, that's woo, you just threw me. I'm like, we're like ready to throw these questions at other women. And then when it's thrown at us, I'm all like, let me just go hide into my desk. Okay. And I can tell it for other women. I don't know if I can say it for myself. God, now I'm like teary. For me, like how I would view myself as sexy, I guess. Would that be like the answer? Is that the question?
This is hilarious to me. Yes.
Okay.
What? So actually, no, not how you would view yourself as sexy. Your definition of sexy.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Yes, there is a difference. You're right. So what I would find sexy as for a woman, or from, what I would define as sexy, confident, not self-conscious, not worried about, okay, like, oh my God, I haven't shaved, or, I haven't waxed, that kind of deal, not being self-conscious about my roles. Just more so, and it doesn't even have to be necessary in the bedroom also, but just carrying yourself in a way that is no longer androgynous, because working in a corporate type field for 28 years, you had to develop your merits based on working harder to be on a level playing field. You didn't want to have that persona of, well, she got to where she was because she slept around, or she has big boobs, and those were sometimes my casting my perceptions onto someone else. So, now that this definition in my 50s, it would be, wow, she's confident, she's calm, she owns it, she owns her body, she's not self-conscious, she's not worried about how people view a role, or back fat or bra fat or anything of that sort. So that would be my definition, I think.
So, okay. So really self-acceptance.
Ooh, good Lord. Yes. Hello, are you a therapist? What time? What time is my next session?
Yeah. So self-confidence, self-acceptance.
And then being direct and candid, more so, where I think we were never or I was never, and let me take that back. Some women are very direct and candid. I'm not. I'm always about let you guys get comfortable around me. And then it's easy for me to subtly ask. And I'm sure I'm still the same way, but I don't think I need to lay the groundwork anymore, if that
Right.
makes sense. Okay.
Right.
Right. Okay, so Heather, I'm throwing it back at you.
Okay.
What is your
Well,
definition?
My definition. My definition is similar to yours in the sense that I completely, one thing I really get is the androgyny thing. Because yeah, you don't want to come off in the workplace as a sex pot, and you don't want to be spoken about as, the girl with the plunging neckline. And for me, my chest has, it's always been something that I've really hidden is to the best of my ability. Right. So, it was an insult if you were thought to be beautiful, really. It was an insult.
Yes.
Yeah, because at that point, then you're not being taken seriously. So my definition of sexy is similar to yours in the sense that it is self-acceptance, that there is no one brand of sexy. Right. So my body type, my hair type, my eyes, whatever it is, and the confidence in that. So that it's not that I'm perfect. And frankly, I've never been perfect, but I always thought you had to be perfect to be sexy, right?
Right.
So, but it's also for me, sophistication. I think sexy is sophisticated. I think sexy is strong and confident. I think sexy is whatever you decide to put on your body, you own it, you feel good in it, whether it's flats or heels or a belt. If you want to wear jewelry, you don't feel, you're not judging, am I wearing that, or is everybody else around me wearing that? Am I going to fit in? No. Sexy is being you and not worrying about fitting in because you're comfortable in your own skin, in your own decisions.
You're not second guessing yourself.
Not second guessing yourself.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with sex.
So ladies, that is your homework. What is your definition? Look really deep and hard and figure out what that is. It's so interesting too. I know with clients, mine, they come in, and to get to that certain point is like when they book a session with me, they're talking about, we have several discussions, text, on the phone, video chats, and we talk about what is.
Do you want an acai bowl?
Yes, I do. Hey, everybody, this is my daughter.
Hi, Addison.
Hello. I'm sorry. I know this is very important, but this is also really important.
Aside, I apologize, but this is really important. And there's.
I flashed my boobs.
Oh, Evan, no one needs to see that.
My boobs are nice.
Nice. Okay.
Everyone fucking looks at them.
I know you guys are all jealous.
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you recording, Mom?
Yes, I am, baby.
Oh, everyone just saw my boobies?
Yeah.
Yes, and they're going to be live on the midlife group.
You have to put your
Really?
the size.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Yeah.
Unless we can figure out a way to cut it, and I don't know how to do it.
I know how to cut it.
This is just a brief intermission.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Cut. Action.
Action.
So, welcome to my world. But what I was saying earlier is we have several discussions, and I know Heather does too with their clients. They have this perception about what they, why they're doing it. But then when we peel back the layers, there's things that will come up. So I had a client, or not a client, I asked a friend or a former client, or she's still a client, I'm sorry. I had one of my former clients come in and help me with doing the instructional for the robe, the traveling robe. And one of the things that she had discussed was she always had this perception of her legs, and how she didn't like them, how she didn't like them, how she didn't like them. And when we did the actual shoot and I showcased them, she looked at them and said, I will never, ever hate my legs again. So I think when we're talking about sexy, sometimes we're hanging on to perceptions, again, like what we were talking about, from trauma or an experience that helped us develop that perception. So for me, or for that one friend client, she associated it with something, and I'm like, well, you're looking at that through a 15-year-old's eyes. Now I want you to look at that, look at this picture and look at it through a grown woman's eyes and see what you think. And let me see if I can pull it up. I'm going to share the screen.
Which is, and while you're doing that, I actually have clients doing the same thing. I have clients that are like, I hate this about my body, or I hate that about my body. And there's nothing wrong with it. But again, it comes from a perception of when we were younger, which was a big epiphany for me, because that's how I was looking at myself as well. You know, when I'm 9 and 10 years old, I'm getting picked on because of my huge rear end. And then again, later at 14, 15 years old, and I developed into double D's instantly. And I'm surrounded by, 14-year-old boys, 15-year-old boys. And so I learned to hide and cover, because I was ugly and I was really malformed. To be honest, that's how I felt. Nobody else looked like me. I was like 40 by the time I was 15. And so Crystal had mentioned that. Why are your breasts ugly like that? Why? I don't want to share. I don't want to bear them. I don't want anybody to see them. I don't want anybody to see my rear end. It's ugly. It's not sexy. It's over the top. Well, it goes back to being 15 years old, 10 years old, with the comments that I had heard, being out and about, being whistled at by the construction workers, right? That were usually got a little gross. And then that whole speak of, well, what were you wearing? What did you have on? How did you attract that kind of
attention? You must have been asking for it.
You must have been asking for it. And it's very cliche, I think, for the younger generation to hear that kind of thing, but our generation, it is not. And so I have spent my life hiding everything about me because it was not acceptable.
And then she comes in my studio and I'm all like, let it out. Let those girls be free.
Yeah. Which,
they're gorgeous.
It was for me, it was just like it is for everyone, in front of your camera. What an eye opener, right? To see myself not in the manner in which that I believed it to be, but to see it through a lens that really is, it's objective. It's more objective, right? And the other thing is that it changes. If you're going through a period of time where you don't think that you have anything going on for yourself, it was something that I was able to really tap into and go, wow, I feel really invigorated. I feel good. I feel like a girl again. I've spent years trying not to be a girl. It wasn't, yes. It wasn't hip. It wasn't acceptable to be a girl. You wanted to make it. You had to, wear a suit and and not be feminine, and, you know,
more
don't
like a
hit like
man.
a girl, don't cry like a
Mhm.
girl, don't, you know, don't be pretty. Pretty is weak.
Pretty's not, yeah, pretty's not strong. Oof, ouch. And that's, it's so weird trying to step out of that though. It's not an overnight thing for sure. And, you know, and I still, you know, I don't know, what is it, shell shock? You still like have little bits and pieces where you kind of doubt yourself. And I still have those moments. We were also talking about, and I just lost it. I hate this shit.
Oh, well, welcome to menopause. Let me take a look at my notes. So
Hey,
the evolution, we're right on topic of evolution,
mhm.
right? So the evolution of your definition of sexy.
Oh, I remember. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
But but it was like taking that time. Again, it's not overnight that happens. So it was like little things that help you kind of step out of that or eventually grow from that. So for you, you were saying having that time to play with makeup again. You subscribe to a monthly like girl type
Ipsy.
thing.
Yeah, it's called
Yeah.
Ipsy. I get a
And so
glam bag.
you get makeup, you get clothes, you get little things to try out. But it's a little bit different now than it is then, because you're taking the time to enjoy putting on makeup again, trying on outfits and spending time in front of your mirror rather than hiding from it, which is key.
Yes.
So for me, it wasn't even, I think for me, it was, I had joined a Pilates studio about 3 years ago, and it became this thing for me for 1 hour a day that I didn't have to make any decisions. Someone told me what to do the entire session. Someone told me when to breathe, how to breathe, what to do. And it was glorious because I am like such a, from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed, planning, making decisions for work and for the photography business, for the family. And it's this nonstop thing where you just like, you never shut your brain off. And that 1 hour became that 1 hour of solace where I didn't have to worry about anything, make any decisions. Someone was doing it for me.
Right.
So it you know, again, your definition, what is that? And how do you get that back? So that's where we are saying, you know, maybe it is a little monthly subscription. I think Brandy shared that in the last girl talk meeting, but find something that renews that spirit for you, because that was something that you might have done in your 20s, maybe in high school, but let that little girl come out again.
It's okay to be pretty. It's okay to want to be pretty. It's okay. And the other thing is that the difference now for me, especially versus my 20s and my teens, being pretty is about my own pretty, not about something I need to see on a magazine.
Ooh, yes. And
Right.
that's, I get a lot of that in the studio, and I'm sure you do too with yours. Is like, I want to look like this. I want to look like a 20-year-old.
Right.
I want to have long lean ends. I want to have a flat tummy. Well, there's all these other things involved, but you know, I think you're okay now. And let me show you how great you are right now. It's okay to want to improve down the line, but let's focus on what you look like right now and how we can enhance that. How can we make you at peace with who you are, and then build off and make improvements.
Right. Because being like, especially in my line of work, I see this all the time. Well, I want long legs and I want a bigger butt. And it's usually people, like I was telling Crystal, I was like, you know, I have a client that has the most gorgeous legs I've ever seen. And I'm like, I'm not playing either. She's like 6 foot tall. I think her legs are 5 foot tall. She's stunning. And do you know what her biggest concern is? Her legs. And I can't, it just blows my mind. And I also get people who want to be, you know, well, I want to be skinny. I want to be skinny. I want to be skinny. Skinny isn't healthy. And when you talk about and let me rephrase that. I don't mean it like that. If you're a thin, skinny person and you're healthy, you're eating right, you're moving, you're doing things the right way, you are healthy. What I'm saying is, though, is that body types don't make you healthy. What you do with your body makes you healthy, right? Movement, eating for fuel in the way that it's a nourishing situation, and the way you think about yourself. But yeah, transforming it, and because then you have this whole hold off. Well, when I lose 10 pounds, then I'm going to.
Then,
when I lose this body, this belly, then I'm going to. When I, and whatever it is, I'm going to buy a sexy, this,
Right.
or I'm going to, buy a new wardrobe, or whatever it is you think you're going to do. We've all done that. Meanwhile, time keeps on ticking, and you've lost who you are because you're trying to be somebody that you're not. And I just watched Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood again last night. His the thing on it, the movie. And the one thing that I've always said is, what he says, you're beautiful just the way you are. We were made just the way we were. So for me, my sexy evolution is finding what is being beautiful as who or I should say sexy and confidence. Sexy is more my mental state, where when I was younger, I thought it was a physical state.
On the nose. Wow. Sometimes these talks, we actually really sound like we're on it.
Wait, let me read my credentials again. But you said it right about the rekindling, which takes us to the traveling robe, which is really exciting.
Okay. All right. So I was hey, can you do the share, enable the screen sharing?
Oh.
Yeah. And forgive us. We're in our 50s.
We don't know what we're doing.
Sometimes we're like having to explain the internet to ourselves. We don't have parents to show us. So, and our kids are like, ugh, do I explain
everything? They don't want to help at all. They're terrible. All right. Now, in order to share the screen from me to you, there's a way to do this. Is it asking me for permission?
Yeah, because I was going to hang on, share screen, and it says not host disabled participant screen sharing. So if you see on the bottom,
it says screen share. So I'm in screen share.
Okay.
And I have advanced. This is pathetic.
There's a menu on top. Oh, well, I have a Mac and you have a PC.
Yeah,
so maybe
this may not happen.
Okay. Well, might not.
I'm trying. I have a chat, a share screen, a video. So I'm in the share screen, but it's not allowing me to have, let me see one more time. Oh, okay,
yes.
try it now.
Woohoo. Okay. Yes. Yay. Okay. I'm going to show this first. Share. So can you guys see that? Wait,
yes.
What do you see right there? Do you just see the picture?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is my friend Lori. She did a shoot with me maybe a year or so ago. And this is pretty much untouched. I think I bumped up the color and the contrast. And look at her showgirl legs. Freaking amazing. And she came in the studio. We didn't do her makeup or anything of that sort. It was mainly to show off the robe. So I want to show you how we got there real quick. And let me open that up. There's a movie. Give me a second. She's going to kill me. No, because I told her that we were going to do this.
So while you're pulling that up, I do want to bring up something else. And that's about like when we talked about the evolution of sexy. And I just want to say, because I know a lot of other women feel the same way, that we used to feel that sexy was dirty. Right?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. For me, especially, I don't know if you guys know, but I am the daughter of missionaries. we immigrated to the States when I was one, and my dad pastored a church here, and my parents have always been like, whew, uh, in this field. So sex, you know, when you're looking at spirit, hang on, there we go.
Yeah, so sex and spirituality.
Yes, and those learning how to know that those are two different things.
Right.
So, yeah, it's interesting to come to terms with that for sure.
It is. And so, you know, even so wearing the low cut tops, right? You know, showing off your figure, your assets has always been something that has been taboo. Well, hello, now my family's in here. Hello, Verbo. Come here, baby. So showing off your assets has been dirty. And the truth of the matter is it's not. It can be very beautiful and tasteful because it's your definition of sexy.
Right.
What are you confident and comfortable about? I'm sorry that I spent my entire life hiding for fear of being dirty and feminine.
Right. Oh, yeah. And me for even having the thoughts of like sex. But that's a whole new like thing. All right, here I've queued up the video. So here is how we got to some of the poses when we did, and I swear this was like a 20-minute session. So here, let me share this real quick. I'm gonna hit play. Okay, so rotating over your shoulder. Let's bring your leg out again. Let's act like you're wearing, act like you're wearing a stiletto. Rotate just your waist towards me. There you go. Bring your chin down. Oh no, your tummy's fine. So go ahead and let's bring it back just a little bit more. I think your tummy's fine. And I'll show you the trick with that. Okay. So show your thighs a little bit more because those look amazing. Okay. I still can't believe that she hated her thighs, her legs. And then, all right, so now I want you to just kind of scoop your tummy in and you're almost doing a C curve. There you go. And then bring your shoulder down. There you go. And then bring your chin up just a little bit lower. And then this way. Beautiful. Look at that. Oh my God.
Yeah, wow, right?
Okay, shoot that one real quick. Beautiful. So I want you guys to know that when we do, like when you see these pictures of other women, you think, wow, she looks great and everything. Someone coached her into, unless you're a professional model and this is something you do on an everyday basis, the everyday girl like me, you have had to learn this or has had someone coach them into it. No one just walks into front of the cam or in front of the camera and is automatically beautiful. Women have to learn like anything. We just have to learn our angles. What's our best features? What do we maybe not be our favorite part of our bodies or our faces? And so rather than avoiding the mirror or avoiding it, why don't you study it and figure out how can I improve on that? So here's a good example. I have, from when I was told, from the time I was probably 3, God, Crystal, you've got a really round face. Or my grandmother, my mom would say, look at the moon, because my face was so round. So that is such a like self-conscious thing for me, is like my face is like this little round moon pie. So I look at my mirror, now I'm comfortable looking in the mirror. And one of the things I do is, and I was telling Heather this the other day, is I'm really self-conscious of this. So when I smile, it's even worse because it just makes my cheeks even fuller. So one of the things I've learned to do is, most women, when they smile or when they look at a camera, is they have their teeth, their top and the bottoms touching. So I will, instead of having them touch, I just drop my jaw, but still keep my lips closed. So I bring my chin down, which brings it a little bit more length. I unclench my jaw. So it just adds, it probably doesn't look that obvious to most people, but for me, it makes me feel better in pictures, if that makes sense. So again, let the mirror be your friend, and problem solve. Okay, my eyes aren't as big. What angle can I use to make my eyes bigger? My jaw is a little prominent. What angle can I use to make it minimized and not be the focus of the picture? Those are things, I mean, it's okay to look in the mirror and figure these things out. You're not being vain. You are trying to present yourself in the best light without having to feel like you need to be Photoshopped or that you need to be perfect. You are figuring out how to showcase your assets, so to speak, and your features.
Right, which, again, I know I keep bringing, my job, guys, just so you know, and I just changed the view. I didn't realize that we were in a different, like, so however this comes out recorded, I'm going to be a little tiny person more than likely for a while. But again, it's my job to keep us on track. So again, this goes into the traveling red robe.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're right on. You're right on cue. Okay. So, but it's my job to keep us on track. So but that is a great segue into a program of an activity that we want to do called the Sisterhood of the Traveling Robe.
Right. Have any of you guys seen that movie? It's one of my favorite movies. It's 4 girls and they find this pair of jeans and somehow, and they're all different sizes, different nationalities. And for some reason, the jeans look amazing on all 4 of them. And this is what I feel these robes in my studio do. Every woman that has tried them on, and Heather will attest to this, and the few in the group that have had a shoot in my studio, they've all tried it on and it's like, oh my God, and it looks amazing on them. There's something luxurious and girly and sexy without being cheesy in it. And I am not a frilly girl. And I love that robe. So we thought, well, how do we help women get their sexy back? And I thought, well, this is kind of a cute idea because we're all, we try to connect in different ways. This would be one for our group that we could do. We would send the robe out for 15 women signing up. We would send the robe out and you get to choose between the colors. You would have it for 2 weeks. You will have a coaching session with me via Zoom or in my studio if you are local in Long Beach or close to Long Beach. And you would get a coaching session on how to pose and how to be in the robe. Now, what you wear underneath the robe is entirely up to you. You can get some feedback from me, I guess, or you can just, I would say spend some time in front of the mirror. Be comfortable being in front of the mirror and looking at yourself. None of us have perfect bodies, but we can work it to a way that looks great, I think. Anyways, so you would wear the robe. I would coach you into some poses. You can take your selfies in them. And I swear to God, it's such a boost. I don't even know how to describe it. What was your experience in the robe, Heather?
So yeah, I want to share that. So the robe that you just saw in the picture with Lori is the robe that we're talking about, with that red, beautiful robe. And just like the traveling pants, every woman has a different experience in the robe. Mm-hmm. So, which goes to speak about what we talk about, where sexy is so independent, right? Mm-hmm. Like who you are and what you are. Again, mm-hmm. It doesn't have to do with actually sex. It really just has to do with a feeling. Mm-hmm. For me, I put that robe on, and I'm also not a frilly person at all. I put that robe on and it was transformative. I felt very confident because I was able to, cover the areas that maybe I'm not so excited about, but also be able to open up in the areas that I am. The colors are jewel colors, and so they just really pop. My daughter, who is 19, did her senior session with Crystal, and she also wore a variation of the robe in a totally different, mine was in lingerie. Sid wore it over
You're in jeans, right?
yeah, pair of jeans and a crop top. And takes on a whole new meaning, right? Now it's not even so much sexy as much as it was whimsical and,
She's
beautiful.
obsessed. Yeah, she was obsessed with fairies, and it took on a whole little fairy theme, and it was it was perfect on her. I was just
perfect.
Mhm.
And so what we really want the result that we want from this experience is for every woman to find their own sexy, whatever that is. So whatever you want to wear underneath it, okay? We want every woman to experience taking themselves out of the everyday. And
character.
yes, and spending some time in front of the mirror. Not like, fried green tomatoes. But you remember that movie?
I do now.
Okay. Not like that. Come on, get your mind out of the gutter.
Mine's always better now.
Okay. So, but more of, what is nice, what is a good feature on me? What does look good? What do I like, instead of what constantly picking yourself apart?
Mm-hmm.
And then, what does that lead to? I don't know. Do you take a bubble bath? Something that takes you, remember when we were in our 20s and we thought it was cool to do something nice for yourself, and we would we would.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that means. And then the other really cool part about it will be the sharing. So years ago, when this little guy is you're getting on the bad list. You stop it. Years ago, Flat Stanley, when our kids were little, there was Flat Stanley. So Flat Stanley, Crystal's daughter Addison did it, and actually Zach ended up doing it later, but where they take Flat Stanley and then they sent them out to like all of their friends all over the world, basically. And then you had to take pictures with Flat Stanley when Flat Stanley came to visit you. So what's awesome about that is that Addison got Flat Stanley pictures and bios, basically, of what Flat was doing in Pennsylvania, which was out here with my family and the snow and the dogs and the whole bit. And then I don't remember where else she got information, Flat was for her. But everybody sends back this really cool portrait, basically a snapshot of their life. And so the robe is the same. It'll be a snapshot into your daily life as well as where it's taking you. And that is so great to be able to witness that and
share it with us who are going through the same thing. And who knows who you're going to inspire and how it's going to inspire you. So, like I said, I've seen it in my own eyes. I get letters and text messages and just face-to-face conversations with, my family, with clients saying how, like, what an amazing experience it was wearing that and how it gave them a different perspective or a different perception of themselves, if that makes sense. And I know it might sound a little corny or cliche, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Heather has too. And I just want it for you guys. I know that not everyone is like ready to do might not be ready to do a boudoir shoot or even do like these drastic changes, but this is a little something you can do for yourself. And I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So,
by the way, real quick, I noticed your H mug. I got this mug the other day, and this is for my friend, our friend Joanne, who is our yoga guru that we share with every other Friday. Oh, what do you think? You want to share that real quick, Heather?
Yeah, I do want to share that. Of course, I have to talk to Joanne about this, but that's okay. We that's how we roll. Rope her into this.
We're just gonna put her on the spot.
We're just gonna rope her into it later. It'll be fine. So what I want to do, what Crystal, and it's Crystal's idea, and it's a great idea. So one thing that we do through Built is Joe essentially. So Joanne Longanella is this little guy's really ticking me off. He's she's basically a yoga guru, but she does mindful yoga, and she really helps people with mind and soul and body in so many ways, right? But one of her talents is yoga. And so she has been wonderful and comes in and she does Zooms with us every other week in our Built group, where we do mindful yoga, and then we have a chat, which we really have to get reined in, because here's the thing, guys, we need to be around other women. Okay, we do. And the first thing we do when life gets busy is we stop being around other women, right? Because it's all about getting it done. That's leisurely. So what we did was, so we're getting together, and the beautiful part is that she's coming in from Spain. So she Zooms in from Spain, and, Crystal and a couple other ladies are coming in from California. Then we have our Pittsburgh crew, girls coming in from Pittsburgh. We actually have some people probably going to be coming in from Florida again, because they'll go into Florida. So it's wonderful. And it's such a unity situation, because we're from all over the world, basically, at this point. We think we're different, and we're not. And we have so much to share and learn and enjoy, and we have a blast. So
And
in
do
that
yoga.
vein, and it's yoga, guys, but it's not, I was going to, I'm sorry, go ahead, Crystal.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, but it's yoga in the sense that it's yoga in what you will and can do, right? So we're not doing anything crazy in there that isn't where we should be, where we are, or where you are. And Joanne is really good about that. So it is Zoom. You can be seen if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So what we want to do is we want to open it up to our midlife ladies, where we take, I believe it should probably be a Saturday, and we'll get clear on the dates as soon as I let Joanne know what we're doing. And so we're going to open up a session to the midlife ladies, so that whoever wants to attend can, because I want you to experience things outside of your comfort zone. Or if you're searching for something,
A community.
yes, if you're searching for community, and also if you're searching for a way to be more healthy in your life, that's different for everybody, right? So I want this to be an opportunity for people to try it out, see if you like it, and then, hang out with the chat and see how it goes. And I think it would be a great thing to do for a midlife.
I love that. I'm so excited about that, only because I've seen how we've evolved doing it. And how long did we start that? About a year ago?
Longer. It's going
Longer?
on 2 years.
And it's like one of my favorite workouts. And I do Pilates probably, well, not this last week, but anywhere from 5 to 7 sessions a week. And this by far is my favorite. And I think I've shared this in one of your posts. I think one of the things I said is I've never been able to stick to anything long-term workout wise. But this, I think anything associated, I'm learning now that anything that's associated with the community, I think you'll find this too. I know my friend Courtney has a big community with CrossFit, and she loves it. And that's her community. And this might be yours. It might be something else, but it all takes just trying it out and trying out different things. And I thought I would never be a yoga person. It just, for me, it looked hard. And the way Joanne does it makes it so approachable, and she is so gentle, but at the same time believes in your ability. It's such a talent. So
Really is. And especially if you're, like us, where every time I've taken yoga, it's been, relax, breathe, okay. And you know, it's just not like that at all. But it's an opportunity for you guys to experience something different, right? And see if it is something that you do or do not like. Because again, this is all about a shift in where where we've been coming from, where we're going, and how to make our lives the best we want to live right now. And Joanne's amazing, and we're so lucky to have her coming in from Spain. Like, come on, just that itself. I'm looking at our notes. I feel like we should wrap things up.
Yep.
Do you have anything you want to say at this point?
No, I'm just thankful that you guys are in this group. I get so much from this group, contributing, but also all your comments, all your posts and everything of that sort. I think that the humor of it really helps me get through the day, through the week, sometimes even through the month. So I want you guys to know that, you know, don't be shy about commenting and posting and sharing experiences. That's what we're here for. And I really appreciate everyone's keeping the integrity of this group and making sure it's a safe place to be candid, or to be funny, or to be sometimes a little raunchy, but to be authentic and genuine. So thank you for helping me create that that platform for all of us.
Yep, that sounds, I'm all ditto.
Ditto.
Ditto. Ditto. So yeah, I feel the same way. I'm so excited about all of our ladies in there that are constantly contributing. And you know, and I've said this in the past, I would love some suggestions in terms of what you want to see or hear more of, you know. In our last ladies group, they said they just want to keep things the same, that everything they like the blend of humor and information and, you know, miscellaneous, and the sharing. So, you know, we'll just keep rocking it that way. I can tell you that we're going to be doing more of these talks. Crystal and I are committed to that, and having more interactive things like the robe and some, you know, like the yoga thing, so that we can still stay connected. And just to wrap up, homework. What did you say the homework was for them?
I think we were just going to say, you know, what is that definition?
Yeah. And what do you want to, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Not only what is your definition, but what do you want to own now? Mm-hmm. What do you want to own when it comes to your sexiness? You know, mm-hmm. Is it the low cut shirt? Is it the fancy schmancy bra, which I have?
Ooh, which reminds me, bras. That's another one. I gotta get Lucy's Boudoir, Crystal Rogers from Lucy's Boudoir in, and to share some of that. Well, remind me.
That's another topic. Let me write it down. Mm-hmm. More topics. Bras, which, you know what, you guys totally underestimated. I have no idea.
Oh, wait. Okay. And I'm probably calling her out right now. I don't know if you guys saw that post with Yvette. What's Yvette's last name?
Altassi. Oh, wait, her married name. Mm-hmm. So it's daughter of the Amazon. It's the Amazon daughter.
Yeah. So Yvette leapt off and jumped off the diving board and dove right into creating something that fuels her, and that's writing. So hopefully, I haven't talked to her, and now I'm just calling her out. Because we like to do that. We've called out Joanne, we've called out Lori, now we're calling out Yvette. But I would like to have her come and share her experience on this chat soon. I need to work out some details with her. But if there's anyone else that wants to share something that they've been doing, and they might not necessarily have to wanted to turn it into a business, or, and you know, in Yvette's case, she just wanted to write. She's not selling anything. She's not doing a business, but this is what fuels her. Is there something that you have segued into that has fueled you? And how did you get there? Let's hear your journey, because I know it's going to be inspirational for other women. So
Right,
let's
so let me just,
message Heather or myself, and then we can have a little bit of a showcase with that. I would love to hear your stories, just because if anything, it really is inspirational to a lot of us.
and just to be clear, so Yvette Pautassi Huerta.
Huerta.
And
Huerta.
Huerta.
There we go.
And she, her blog is Amazon's Granddaughter. It's awesome. It's about her own family and how the strength in the women in her family through the generations.
And she's sharing stories she's writing about stories that have been passed down to her. And so I think that is neat to preserve a legacy like that. A lot of us, you see like recipes that haven't been, that are been in for families forever, and they're not going to be passed down because we're too busy to spend that time to make those recipes anymore. So there's got to be a way to cherish that and preserve that. So I love that. I love that she did that and took that leap. And first of all, it's so personal to share and let people know that you're doing that. So the fact that she did that, I hope you guys encourage her as well. Okay, that's it. We just rambled on and on. Thank you, ladies, for sharing and for and for spending a little bit of time with us. We love you.
All right, love you guys. We'll
Bye.
see you soon. Bye.